Right over there is where I have a video called, I think it's rattlesnakes, scorpions, and something else. I'll put a link to it right below this. There's a picture of a rattler for the thumb. I was walking here one night, pretty late, way after dark. I think around midnight or so, I don't remember. And there's a rattlesnake across the thing, about 4.5 feet long. As long as my trekking pole. It's about 4 foot, 4.5 foot. And thick as my arm. And I set the camera down, but it wouldn't work because this camera, this HD, doesn't have a light. So put my headlight on, my little flashlight in my mouth, camera in one hand, and I started to catch the rattlesnake. Well, headlight failed. It kept going out in, and the flashlight was really dim. So every time I go to reach for that rattler, it'd go pitch black. Now the rattlesnake can see me fine because of body heat, but I can't see him. So it was hairy, but I tapped the light, it would go back on. I'd go to grab him, it'd go out. I tapped it, since then sent it back to Princeton Tech. They gave me a new one. But I sent them a link to the video as to why they liked the video. They gave me another one, no questions asked. They even gave me a set of batteries. But that rattlesnake was really cool. I caught him, and then he was going off into the yuck again. I grabbed him by the tail, pulled him out. He swung back around and grabbed to bite me, and I just shook with the gravity. He went down, and then I slid my hand real quick along the body and got him by the neck. Anyway, that was right back there. And when you come around Bridge to Nowhere, oh, there's somebody camping. Come around the Bridge to Nowhere, before you hit the 5-mile marker, you'll see that camp. Right there. 1972. It was a popular Boy Scout camp. Since they're back there making noise, I doubt we'll see any sheep. But this is where they frequent in the morning. They cross over to Coldwater Canyon. You see them here all the time. This is just around the corner from the Bridge to Nowhere, where the river starts going north. Before it drops down that little 3-foot section, and you see the 5-mile marker, which is right there. The camp's right across the street, across the river. You have to work your way down, a little switch back there, cross the river, and then climb up. It's a great campsite. Take your kids. I've not grabbed a tape and jumped over the edge, but I've read in the middle of this canyon, one side of the wall is 3,500 feet, the other side is 5,500 feet from the river. That's what I've read anyway. Down there, look at that little bear poop. And then look, a Spam can. Looked like he sunk a nail into it and ripped it open to lick it clean. And then took a dump and moved on. I'll get that on my way back out. That'll cut my pack if I put it in my pack. I will get it on the way out. Unless somebody else does. Look at this guy. That's a cool one. You don't see green ones back here very often. Look at that. Whoa. That's a cool one. Trout would go crazy over something like that. Although he's a little big for the native trout here. Look at this spot. Starting to get hungry. Find the spot somewhere along here. Eat breakfast. Occasionally you'll find stuff like metal detectors laying there in a tent. Just leave it alone, man. It's not yours. Just keep moving. This is one of the areas here. So in midwinter, when there's snow and lots of rain, if there's snow and lots of rain, if the Illuminati decide to shut off the HARP system and let the weather go back to normal, the water goes up to there. It's not passable here. not passable here. This is it. When the water goes up to there, you're stuck. That's where I came from, and this is where I'm going. This is Iron Fork. I'm gonna get in back there to the campground, and we'll stop and have lunch and then explore it. Here it is, and I'm gonna have lunch. It's a pretty remote campground. But believe it or not, oh, I hear something down there. Let me check that out. Believe it or not, scouts used to come back here this far. Try to get a kid to walk this far nowadays, please. His little game won't work this far back. I heard a rock chip down there. Maybe somebody walking past. Maybe some goats or a bear. But I'm hungry. United States Forestry Service. Used to be a stove back here. Oh, look. 65 degrees. Look at that. 1929. Over here. Carlos Todo. 1988. 1906. This Vargo works great as a pot holder, and then if you run out of alcohol, you can just use sticks. It's a great little stove. Another reason I want to bring you guys back here, bring the camera back here and show you guys this. This was a meeting place, I think every month, for 3 of the famous miners. Will Heaton down river, Heaton Flats, Tom Vincent Gulch, and a guy somewhere in between by the name of George Trogdon. Well, this is where they used to meet because George Trogdon had a vegetable garden up here. I'm not sure where, but I've read when you come in, it's on the upper bluff. So that's why I'm going to leave my pack and I'm going to go up this, a little foot trail. I believe the vegetable garden was right up there. They used to meet here, camp out here, and talk about things going on and tend to the garden and get their vegetables and go their separate ways. So they weren't so much hermits. They did interact with each other. Let's go see what's up here. I'm going to leave my pack there. I better take a trekking pole. There's something else really cool back here that I'll tell you about in a little while. Because that's totally man-made. Not the rock, but the stacking of. Now the vegetable garden must have been a little further in. This is not it. But I have a feeling this will take us to a great view. Look at that. Wow. What a great place to spend the night. Look at this. I think I stumbled upon the garden. Or remnants of it. Look, grapevines. These are not natural. These are planted. Grapes back here. This is probably where it was. Wow. So we're tiptoeing through the garden. How cool is that? In the early 1900s, there was a vegetable garden right here. The meeting place of the 3 big wigs of the canyon. way back there at a diagonal. I believe that's as far as I'm going to go unless I see something really interesting. I'm going to start running out of daylight here pretty soon, now that the time change. And this is some rough terrain to maneuver in the daytime. All these rocks move. I don't want to do it at night. I'd rather be back there relaxing. Well, here I am. That there was the diagonal I'm talking about. Getting past this was no easy task. But I see a bend in the canyon. Whoa, I see a bend in the canyon. Oh, about 400 or 500 feet up. And I see a well-lit area. I'm gonna go up until I get out of the shade, just to have a look up the canyon. Otherwise, I'll be wondering about it. So, I've extended, I can cross on this log, hopefully. I've extended my trip a little. I hope this thing holds me. It's kind of hollow. It goes up around there and turns. It looks like the sunlight. I underestimated it. Got another 300-400 feet to go. I'm running out of time fast, guys. Okay, I got back in time to set up before dark. Let's see a 6 Moons design wild oasis. It's a floorless shelter, but as you can see, it's got the mesh. And I cut this Tyvek. I got the large Tyvek from 6 Moons Design, same company, like $12, something like that. And I cut it so it goes over the net. Look at that. Turning it into a full tent. I went down here to picking up some sticks and everything so I can throw it in there. Burn what little bit of trash I have. But look at this. I found this down there. Some kind of predator. Look at the tooth. Missing one of them. Anybody know what that could be? What that is? Maybe a bobcat? I don't know. It's a predator. Look at that. Bit in your hand. It's pretty cool though. It's going home with me. One of those rare times you eat at a table. That's river water. Be the first need. This is tea with honey. And this is the pasta primavera. It's a really good one. Having dinner with a friend. Creature of the forest. Wherefore art thou, brother? Imagine in the early 1900s, this here, I doubt it's changed very much, was the meeting ground of Tom Vincent. Oh, he's a good another 10 miles upriver. Yeah, 10 miles upriver. Vincent Gap, Baden Powell, Bighorn Mine, the cabin I showed you. Or Billy Heaton, all the way down there, Heaton Flats by the East Fork Campground, the East Fork Trailhead parking lot. Those two used to meet, boom, in the center. This is about the center of the canyon. And actually it's a little bit south of the center. Fish Fork's about the center. Fish Fork being upriver. But this is where they used to meet. Had a garden back here. Hang out back here for 3, 4, 5 days. exchange information, stories, gold, food, canned goods, whatever else supplies they took. But this is where they were, guys. I'm gonna be sleeping in the same spot they did. It's pretty cool. One major difference though, back when they did it, mountain lions were plentiful and there were grizzlies, grizzly bears roaming this range. Also, they would carry guns. Vincent used to carry a .50 caliber. He was attacked by a bear one time and plunged a knife into his chest a few times, and a friend of his shot it while it was still on him. He went to the hospital, but he lived. But tomorrow, wake up, have breakfast right here, go down, hit the main river, shoot down south, 2 miles or so, mile and a half, and then I'm going to go up that face and try to get to another mine. Vampire skull. I think that's a raptor. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a raptor. Baby raptor. I'm gonna lay down here. I've been walking all day. I've been walking since early this morning. I'm pretty beat. If I fall asleep, I fall asleep. If I don't, I'll get out and see if I can see any stars.
There's a small fire going just to get the chill up. It's really small sticks, they'll burn out fast. I've got my Vargo and my alcohol stove going again. I used the last of my water, so that's heating up. I'm gonna run down here. First need and fill up that water and that other water there.
Anyway, guys, here it is. Iron Fork Campground. Feel free to use it. Please maintain it. Don't destroy this stuff. It's been here for years, decades, maybe close to 100 years. Respect it. Keep it clean. I'm gonna leave that foam for people in the future, possibly you. Okay, guys, that ridge up there, that's what I'm gonna climb to. Actually, where those trees are, right there is the center of the screen. The green trees against the ridge. I'm gonna go up this. That's the plan, anyway. About a quarter of the way. But I'm going up. My height. Whoa. Okay, I've reached a pretty stable ledge. I can turn around. I can actually sit down if I wanted to. If I don't want to, I sit down. I'm not going to want to get up. Here's the height I've gotten so far. From the river bottom to there, I'd say I'm up about 400 or 500 feet. I come up this, it's all loose. It looks fairly easy, but you step on it, everything starts to slide. Now back there in the corner, see that center of the screen, that little gorge coming down? Around the lip of that mountain there, to the west, which would be left, it's Iron Fork. So that's what I came out of, came down and around. Now guys, it's not to be. Sometimes you get a bad feeling. I got a bad feeling about going up something like this solo. The piece of iron I thought I saw. Let me show it to you what I saw. It's right in there somewhere. Let me see. I don't know. But it turned out to be just rusty rock. So obviously I'm in the wrong spot, which means I have to go back down that, go around. Sorry to disappoint, but it's not worth falling. I'll come back up here again with somebody else. Maybe somebody watching wants to come with me. That's what they're gonna go back down. So, not working on my way out in my life to locate something, especially when you get a bad feeling about it. When I come back here, I'm not going to try this again until I have somebody to go with me. But I come back down here a little bit disappointed, work my way down, and right there on the ground, bam! Look what I'm faced with. Look at this. An old U-Band coffee where you had to just use an opener. Man, that brings back memories. We used to go in the backyard, put some dirt in there, dig up worms, put worms in there, and we'd go fishing with this. Myself, my dad, or my mom sometimes would go with me. As a kid, just my head just filled with memories. Look at that. Sometimes your reward comes in a different form than you would expect. I'm gonna leave that right there. If somebody doesn't want to cook out of it, but that will bring back memories to somebody else. My head it's a flood. Just a floodgate opened up and memories of fishing. Look at this. Into the rock. Remember the old Doctor Who? That robot box? Looks like that robot box. Ancient aliens again. Everywhere I look. Old prospector friend just around the corner said he saw backpacker Dave down by Newport Beach. He's got all his dreadlocks cut off. He's all cleaned up and he's got a working down there. He's out of the mountain. His mom's sick and he left for that, but decided to stay out of the mountain again. Yeah, anyway, he figured 18 years in the canyon was enough. He took out the biggest known nugget of the century and of last. The biggest known nugget. He's got a picture of it on Google Earth. If you Google Backpacker Dave, I believe that's how I found him. I don't remember. But this guy says he didn't even recognize him. He's back to the way he was looking, with no dreadlocks, no beard, shaved, clean cut. I hope to run across the guy sometime in the future, but the way it sounds, not likely. Who knows, maybe I'll end up retiring back here and be Backpacker Dave, the continued story. Live in this old shelter. Look at that, how the sun's hitting it in all the right places. Amazing, isn't it?